This is the Freeheel Life Podcast, episode number 170. I'm your host, Josh Madsen, coming at you from the Freeheel Life shop in Salt Lake City, Utah. And welcome back, my fellow protectors of the turn. We're getting close to the end of the Telemark ski season, and this is an incredibly important week because we're leading into the best day of the year, World Telemark Day. So before I hop into today's episode, just want to talk a little bit about some changes at the retail shop. We're going to be closed on Saturdays moving forward through March. So as of now, we will be open Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, noon until 7. So definitely, you can always reach us at customer service at freeheellife.com, but that is going to be the new schedule as we taper off into the end of the season. And get ready for spring. So today, what we're going to do is this is your personal guide to World Telemark Day 2023. And I'm going to not only go over some of the meetups that I've received, which are quite plentiful, but also a simple guide to how you can participate and some fun things you can do on the hill while you're out there with your friends. So let's go ahead and hop right into it. Okay, so basically there are tons of meetups all over the world going on. I've got all these emails that have come in, Facebook messages, Instagram messages. I'm going to wait till the end of this to sound off on all of them. If you want to wait through the podcast, or, if you're looking for one in your area, you can then sort of just listen to the list at the end. But I'm going to kind of flip flop that news section just so we can kind of get into the meat of today's episode and you're not just sifting through a long list. It's really cool though. And I'm super excited to be able to share all of those details. But, so let's hop into this guide. Like, what if maybe this is your first World Telemark Day? I'm going to kind of approach it from that in some regards, and maybe it's something you've celebrated the last previous 8 of these. But for those of you out there that maybe have not participated in World Telemark Day or haven't listened to previous episodes that I've done about this, World Telemark Day was something that I set up. This is the 9th annual event. And basically it's a worldwide event where we can all go telemark on the same day. Okay. It doesn't have to be a formal event. In fact, it's really meant to be, flexible in the sense that you can be by yourself. You could be with a group of people, or you can turn it maybe into more of a local gathering of telemark skiers. So we're going to kind of go through this. Basically the first thing we want to do is make sure that you're going telemark skiing. So if you haven't planned out what you're doing this Saturday, March 4th, we want to make sure that it is World Telemark Day. And this is the day, if you've ever needed an excuse to go telemark skiing, and you just didn't know how to get out of work or whatever, let people know it's an international holiday and you're heading out on the snow. So basically the first thing is get to the hill, backcountry, resort, backyard. I mean, I've seen people on golf courses, wherever. I think we even had a guy send in a picture. He was on sand because he wasn't by any snow, but hey, he dropped a knee and that was cool. So the point is we want to share, if you are a social media user, it's awesome if you can post a photo or a video with the hashtag World Telemark Day. For all you old folks out there that don't know what a hashtag is, it's a £, same thing. So hashtag World Telemark Day. And that way we can kind of all keep track of what each other are doing around the world. It's super fun to watch and see who's popping up where. So rule number 1, go out on the snow if you possibly can. The next thing we want to do is, if there are other telemark skiers at the resort that you're going to for a meetup, try to find out where they're meeting up. And I know that's probably a little difficult, but you've got a couple days before Saturday. Maybe you can look around. If you need information, maybe you don't hear a local meetup at your at the end of the podcast and you're still curious if anybody else is in your zone, feel free to email me at podcast@freeheellife.com or shoot me a message on Instagram or whatever. I'll do my best to sort of try to tie people together to the best of my ability. So as far as getting out and telemark skiing, I kind of wanted to give some tips about what other things you can do. Maybe if you're rolling solo or you're maybe rolling in a group and want to talk a little bit about that. So probably the most popular thing that we've done over the years is a group tele shred. So this is a great way, like if you've got a small group or maybe there's just two of, it could be you by yourself, but it is always fun when you can gather a large group and basically set a time and say, hey, we're all going to meet up at the top of this run at, 1 p.m. or whatever. And we're all going to line up at the top and then we're all going to bomb down the hill together. And you don't need to be an expert, pick a run that's sort of, an ability level that most people can handle, and you're all going to drop in at the same time and you're all going to make telemark turns at the same time. I always like to think this is a great time for the bonus glory run below the lift. So if there happens to be a run where you're all ripping below the lift, nothing better to promote telemark skiing than everyone go at the same time while everyone's on the lift, forced to watch you telemark ski and wonder what's going on. So that's always a fun one. I think that's definitely one of the easiest things to do as a community is gather your group at your local place. And obviously this is at a resort. I mean, if you really wanted to do it in the backcountry, I would probably say that's probably not the safest thing is going multiples at once on a slope. So let's keep it in the resort for this one. And that's a great way to sort of build a little mini event out of the day, and always a great time. And there's nothing better, especially if you can get groups of like 15, 20 people all at once doing a group shred on World Telemark Day. So the next part of this little guide is really referencing something that has always been near and dear to my telemark heart since I first started when I was a young man. And that is when you see another telemark skier out there on World Telemark Day, go introduce yourself. And this is something that I've always loved about our community. It's something I've seen all around the world, is that moment where you're like in the lift line and you're looking at someone and you're like, oh, hey, they got telemark skis on, and you make your way over and you introduce yourself, and maybe that's the time to take a run. So on World Telemark Day, this is a great opportunity not only to meet another telemark skier at your local area, but make sure they know that it's World Telemark Day, and maybe see if they want to take a little quick lap, together, maybe ride the lift up together and make a little run. This is how we grow this thing and help it propagate, out, is word of mouth, sharing it with other people. And I really think this is a great part of the guide for World Telemark Day, is do something that telemarkers naturally always do, which is introduce yourself to the other telemark skier that you see on the mountain. And this is a great way to do it on a day that's even more special because it's a day to celebrate the best turn on snow. Okay, next, what are we doing on World Telemark Day? We talked about the group shred aspect. We've talked about introducing yourself to another telemark skier. So now I want to throw that out, that if there is somebody else there at your local resort, I want you to use the opportunity to share something with each other. Maybe a technique or a trick or something you haven't done before, or a run that maybe is your favorite run, your favorite tree run that nobody knows about, and you want to take this other telemark skier there. But let's use this day as a knowledge sharing day, especially for those new people that maybe we've loaned a setup to a friend. Some of these World Telemark Day meetups have some free demos like ours does, and you might be able to get somebody who's never telemark skied and share some knowledge. So again, that's what this is all about, having this community sharing opportunity and the ability to share the love, share the telemark turn. And I think this is a good opportunity for all of us to do that on that day. And kind of along the lines of sharing information with each other is also, this is a great day to try something new or make sure you're kind of finalizing some of those things that you planned for the season that you really wanted to get better at. A few weeks ago, we did sort of the mid-season check-in with yourself, goals you've set for the season, things you wanted to work on. Kind of pointed to the life cycle of a telemark skier podcast that I did way back when. And I think World Telemark Day, there's not really a better day to focus on your turn, your technique, and maybe taking the next step in that evolution of telemark on a personal level. So that is what I would encourage you to do. So hopefully those are some good touch points for you to think of not only participating in World Telemark Day, but maybe some little things that you can involve yourself in during the day, whether it's with a group or by yourself. But nonetheless, get out there and celebrate World Telemark Day, and be sure to look for other telemark skiers in your area. Even if there's not a formal meetup, maybe this is the year that you get to meet somebody else and see that person. And next year, you guys can put a little meetup together at that local hill again for the 10th annual World Telemark Day, which is going to be awesome. Last part of the guide for those that are interested is always après ski. And that's an awesome time to get to know people off the hill, maybe grab a beverage of your choice. And I know some of these World Telemark Day meetups have some good après attached to them at the local bar, somewhere at the base area, or even a parking lot, where there's a good little grill out and maybe some coolers full of some chilled bevies to partake in. So I hope you have a ton of fun, and I hope you enjoy World Telemark Day. So now I'm going to get into the long list of meetups and talk a little bit more specifically about those and what's going on at them. So I know this is kind of a short little guide podcast as we lead into the holiday, but I thought it would be a good way to prep everybody, to get everybody thinking about March 4th. And now I want to share where you can find other people. So let's start off with what we are doing here with the Freeheel Life team here in Utah. So we are going to be at Alta Ski Area, which is our home mountain, and we will be there with a free demo tent, or a tent full of free demos rather. We're also going to be there with Volet and Scarpa. So plenty of boots, both, honestly, mostly NTN boots, let me say that. And then I know Volet is going to have 75 millimeter stuff there. So if you have your own 75 millimeter boots, but maybe you want to try some of the Volet skis, that will be happening. We'll have some of our protector skis ready to roll for people. We will also, have boots to try along with the Scarpa people. So that's going to be all day long at Alta Ski Resort here in Utah. It's been an amazing winter, over 500 inches of snow, plenty of coverage, good times, and we're going to keep it pretty loose, probably put a little group shred together at some point during the day. So come by the tent for information on that. But other than that, yeah, we just want to celebrate we're going to be there as well during, there's a She Jumps event that's going on that same day, getting women out on the snow. So that'll be really cool. It's going to be a real good time there at the base of Alta Ski Area. And we want to thank them for always supporting us and our endeavors. As far as the rest of Utah, funny enough, I don't know of any other ones, or at least they haven't come in. So I'm only calling out some of the ones that I know of around the world. And I want to make sure if for some reason I don't mention your meetup here, email me at podcast@freeheellife.com this week, or send me the graphic or whatever to my Instagram account or Facebook. And I'll do my best to reshare those across all of our platforms, just so we can get the word out on whatever we can. So jumping over to Colorado, there's actually a number of meetups I've found out about so far. Wolf Creek Ski Area. There's 2 meetups at Wolf Creek that day, 10 a.m. at Treasure and 1:30 at Raven. And I think the folks are doing that just because people have different schedules. They're going to decide on some opera as well. Everyone's welcome at that one, especially beginners or people interested in learning. The rippers can go rip, others can go cruise, and they'd be stoked to help anyone out, anyone just starting out. And yeah, even if there's only a couple of them, they're going to take some pictures and some videos, and you can get a hold of Justin, who sent me that info, at tellythewolf@gmail.com with questions. So check that out. Wolf Creek Ski Area outside of Pagosa Springs, Colorado. Moving to the Front Range, we got Eldora Ski Area. Telly Kahlo is going to be putting on some free demos, giveaways, and they're going to have the latest gear for themselves, along with some opera fun, and of course, the Telly Kahlo Classic Telemark Limbo contest for huge prizes. So if you are on the Front Range of Colorado, that's an easier one to get to if you don't want to take the I-70 drive that day. And that'll be a good spot with some good peeps. So Beaver Creek, they're going to meet. There's going to be a meeting. Look for Sean. Meet at Centennial Chair at 10 a.m. Operate at the C Bar around 2:30 p.m. And that should be a good time as well. So those are the Colorado ones I have. I'm sure there are other ones because obviously Colorado has tons of telemark skiers. So if you're a Colorado person and you want me to get out some info this week on the socials, hit it up and we'll do our best to push it out. All right, moving on over to our other neighbors in Idaho. First one is Bogus Basin, which is outside of Boise. There is a group that's going to be meeting there and probably doing a mid-morning ski. And then they're going to circle up at parking lot 4, also known as the Stoner's Lot. And they'll have burgers, dogs, bevs all around for everyone around 1 o'clock. So to get in more information on that, if you are on Instagram, you can go to @Boise_Telly to get the scoop on that as well. Staying in Idaho for the next one, we've got the Sun Valley Telly crew that's going to be over at Rotorun Ski Area on Saturday, March 4th. And I'm just reading off their website. Family fun is the name of the game as we ring in World Telemark Day 2023 at Rotorun Ski Area, the Little Mountain with a Big Heart, just outside of Haley, Idaho. Come tailgate and celebrate the turn for the second year in a row at our favorite community ski area. Free day tickets for Freeheels, 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. So go get some up with the Sun Valley crew if you are in that area. Next up, jumping up to Washington State, Mission Ridge. 9th Annual World Telemark Day, Saturday, March 4th. Join them at Mission Ridge for a meetup. All Telemark skiers should meet at the Midway Igloo at 1 p.m. for a couple of group runs on Bomber Bowl, Tumwater, and Skookum. After celebrating the greatest turn on snow out on the mountain, they're going to meet back at the Midway Igloo at approximately 2 p.m. where drinks will be available. You can check out a range of NTN bindings and lurks, and where swag will be given away from Mission Ridge, Rides of Telly, Freeheel Life, 22 Designs, and Telly Kahlo. Alpine skiers and snowboarders are welcome to join and check out what the fun is all about. If you have questions on that one at Mission Ridge, email marketing@missionridge.com. And I just want to give that a quick shout out too. Very cool. I know Mission Ridge we've had some customers that have been supporters up in that area for a long time, but it was cool because I got an email directly from Tony, their marketing director, and much thanks for picking up on the event and running with it. So I'm hoping to see that more in the future as we get more involvement from the resorts. And it's always great to have the marketing department behind this kind of thing, and they can just put a little structure even on top of the basic stuff that we're offering. So big shout out to Mission Ridge. And if you're in that zone, I hope you can make that one. All right, staying in Washington State. This is up in White Pass Ski Resort in White Pass, Washington, and hosted by Telly White Pass. You can find them on Instagram at Telly White Pass. They're going to meet in the base area at noon. Look for Telly Squatch. I'm assuming that's pretty obvious when you get there. Group laps beginning at noon. Operate at the lodge at 3:30 with raffle that's got stuff from Scarpa, BD Bishop, 22, Telly Kahlo, Bent Knee Collective, Zevo Optics, and others. Proceeds from the raffle will go to the White Pass Ski Patrol. Washington coming in strong too. Love it. Good to see some stuff in the Pacific Northwest, and always appreciated for everyone participating up that way. Okay, so geographically jumping up into British Columbia, we have the next meetup. It's going to be happening at Manning Park on March 4th, and I think they're going to be there through the weekend. Some people are going to be camping at the Skyview Campground. So North Shore Telemark is going to be putting this on. This is a group I've talked about. They're out doing all sorts of cool little ski nights up there. And in that area, they're doing full moon skins, and it's really cool. They're coming together. They've got a Facebook page under North Shore Telemark. You can also find them on Instagram at North Shore Telemark. If you're not on social media, again, hit me up direct, podcast@freeheellife.com, and I will connect you direct on the email to the folks up there, Tom and Rory, and everyone else who's putting that little gathering together. So be sure, if you're in the British Columbia area near Manning Park, that you can get together for that and do a little skiing and a little opera for World Telemark Day. Thank you, Canada. Very nice. Okay, I'm going to stick with Canada and what's going on there, but I'm going to jump to the east side of Canada and Quebec. And I am not going to read this in French because my French is terrible, but this is at a ski area called Ski Volage, and they are doing 2-for-1 lift tickets on March 4th for people arriving at the center with Telemark equipment. I'm reading off their Facebook, which is probably translated from French. So if it's a little out of order, that's why you know why. A group photo will be taken after dinner at 1 p.m. at the main chalet at the bottom of the main staircase outside. They're seeking to organize groups with different levels of skiers to develop their techniques. and they're looking for a few volunteers who would be willing to show or teach techniques. Please write to them at the following address: promo@centrevorlage.ca, and it's CENTREVORLAGE.ca. No equipment will be available for rentals this year, but it sounds like they're looking to do this moving forward. So, Ski Volage in Quebec. Make sure to check it out. Merci beaucoup. And stoked to know that we've got some more Canadian friends getting after it. And we hope to hear how that one goes as well. Okay, awesome. Now we're going to go down to New York. And these guys have put a Nathaniel and Jeremy, they put a little group together called the North Country Knee Droppers. You can find them on Instagram at @NoCo_knee droppers. And I know I'm always bringing up Instagram, and like I said, I know a lot of people aren't on social media, but if you are interested in kind of connecting with a lot of these groups, this has become a fantastic way to sort of tie everyone together. And, maybe that's enough incentive if you're interested in just telemark culture. This is the ultimate era in DIY, do it yourself, ability to just kind of put a page together, have a couple friends. And I've always loved that. I mean, Instagram came out in 2012, and it's been really fun to kind of get to know all these groups. Whereas you used to have to travel there to even know they were there. And now this is a good way. So that's why I always give the call outs to Instagram. Okay, back to what's going on. North Country Knee Droppers. Now this is at Whiteface, and on March 4th for World Telemark Day, they're going to do a, 10 to 2 at Whiteface with a final group 1. They're going to meet at the gondola at 1 p.m. 3 until 6, they're going to be hanging out at the Cascade Welcome Center with some telefilms at 6 p.m. Music by Tyler DeZago at 5:30 p.m. Hopefully I pronounced your name right. Awesome that they got some music together as well. That'll make it a fun little operation dig. North Country Knee Droppers. Check it out, and we'll be spinning that graphic that they sent over to us along with all of the other ones that I have graphics for. We'll be putting them out on Instagram and Facebook all week long. Okay, jumping across the pond for this next one. This is happening in Andorra. And I looked it up, and I think it's pronounced Gauroch, but it's Grauroig. This is an awesome area for skiing in the Pyrenees, and I'm laughing at the pronunciation because it's I think it's in Catalan, and I speak Portuguese, but this is I looked up the pronunciation. So to Sam and everyone else that's putting on this event in Andorra, if I botched it, teach me for next year how you say it. But you can check that out. I can send you details on that. They're going to meet up at Gauroch, which I think is how you pronounce it. Grauroig. Look it up. Andorra. That's where the telemarketers are going to be hanging out, and they're going to be doing a little rendezvous to do some telemark skiing in that zone. So Andorra is on the list. Get there. Okay, I'm jumping back over to Oregon, and I think from here on out, I'm just going to be going with whatever I can find to push it out there for the next few minutes and get some more done. Oregon, people, you can meet at Hoodoo Ski Area. This is an informal meetup, but you can meet up with Jarl Berg. He's an old buddy of mine. He's going to be skiing at Hoodoo. That's in between Eugene and Bend. So if the Bachelor folks want to come over, people that normally ski Willamette Pass, I don't know if there's meetups at either of those places that I have heard of yet, but Hoodoo is a cool spot and you can meet there if you are in Oregon. Okay, jumping to the other side. On the right coast, the east coast of the United States, here's a couple. We've got World Telemark Day meetup at Berkshire East. It's at, which I think is Massachusetts. Hopefully, I've got so many going on here, I can barely remember where everything's at. I believe it's in Mass, though. So Berkshire East, meet up at Chair 4 at 10 a.m. for the frolic of the freeheelers. Tele tips by PSIA certified instructor Hal. You can reach him at skistrees@gmail.com for more information. Also in that zone, World Telemark meetup at Waterville Valley in New Hampshire. Nick from Granite State Telemark. You can find them on Instagram as well. And they are, let me look at the updated information. They're going to meet up for World Telemark Day at the in the area at the back of the lift line for the Tecumseh. Let's see. Actually, he pronounces for me. Tecumseh. So let's say I got it right. Express lift at 10 a.m. And you can go ski with Nick. And he's doing a great job. He's got a cool Instagram page, also one I like to follow. And they're kind of keeping it rolling over there in the Granite State Telemark zone. So live, free, heal, or die, as they say, and meet up there at Waterville Valley. I mentioned this one a few podcasts ago. Ski Sawmill, Morris, Pennsylvania. Eric, he's there rocking it by himself. Unless you show up and ski with him, he'll be wearing a Viking helmet. So I love that, and it's been really cool to connect with some new folks in some new zones. So Ski Sawmill, Morris, PA on the East Coast. Easter Coast, I guess. PA is kind of mid-Atlantic. We'll call it that. But I got some PA roots, so good to see Ski Sawmill making it happen. Look for Eric, and definitely want to see some photos from that one. Okay, I think I'm going to wrap it up on that. I know I could probably go forever and dig and dig and dig. There's so many of these meetups. We're probably going to need to find a more efficient way of having maybe a website or something where people can enter the meetups and it sort of like kicks it out into a zone. But I think if you are listening to the rest of this podcast, you got through all the meetups. I just want to say how grateful I am to participate in this. I'm grateful that you're participating in this. I mean, 9 years ago, this was an idea I came up with and just threw it out there on Instagram and wherever else and said, hey, it's World Telemark Day. Let's celebrate. And it's caught on, and it's amazing to see people from all over the world. I know I probably didn't cover everything because I know I've seen stuff from Finland and Scandinavia and whatnot. So let's keep it going. We got year number 10 next year. This weekend is our weekend. It's Telemark weekend. It's World Telemark Day, and I want everyone to celebrate. Like I said, our retail hours are changing. We're not going to be open on Saturday any longer through the rest of the season, and we're going to be out skiing with you. So come see us if you're in Utah. We'll be at Alta, free demos. Scarpa and Volet will be there as well, and we are ready to rock and roll. And be sure to get on the Instagram, and we'll be posting as many of these meetups as possible. You can get me at Josh Nomadson. You can email me at podcast@freeheellife.com. And even if you're thinking, man, this all sounds really cool, I don't even know if there's anyone in my zone. If you shoot me an email, I'll do my best. If I know of something near you, I would be happy to take a couple minutes and try to connect you via email or point you in the right direction. And that's what this is all about. So thank you for being a part of the community, and thank you for celebrating World Telemark Day this weekend. I hope all of you have an amazing time. Be safe out there. And until next week, spread Telemark always. Peace.